All right, guys, welcome back to FetchQuest. How's everyone doing? I hope doing pretty well. Kind of recovering a little bit. David, you want to catch us up from what happened?
Sure, let's do that. So last time on FetchQuest, there were quite a few interesting social encounters. Damokos took Joven into let's just go with seedier part of town, and they found what seems to be a headquarters for the Jesters. And Damokos met with a acquaintance there. Spoke with her a bit about some things while Joven just kind of hung out upstairs. And when they came down, they found the jesters were in the process of killing one of Zahn's servants. They went and got some proof of that to take to Zahn and then went off in search of them. Meanwhile, Zahn was busy chasing after James on a horse, practically ran over Kara, but pulled her up onto the horse to go with him. Then the whole group met up. They found that he had gone into the sewers. After following him through the sewers, tracked him out into the forest, and in the dead of night came up on this tower where he was. They proceeded to have a conversation with him, revealing that he had given Jethra over to the people who make things work in the city, and also that the crow is real, apparently. James said he would stop Zahn. Zahn said, "Let's go." A fight ensued, and with a blood magic enhanced lightning bolt from Kareen, he fell. Still alive, but seated. And that is where we left off.
Fantastic. So, everyone's standing in front of the ruined black tower. James is starting to shuffle towards it. Some of the blue liquid is dripping from the vein like cracks running through his body. I I need a moment.
You're the one that has to lead us there, anyways.
So he shuffles inside of the tower and kind of disappears.
I'm gonna follow in after him.
Cool. So you follow in, and you see that he goes towards the center of the room and places his hands kind of fists down on the ground, and you see that there are cracks that start to glow with the blue light. Uh, they almost seem to flow towards James and course up through his body. You can see the cracks caused by the axe, kind of like shards of ice still on his body, melt away and smooth over into solid black stone. You also notice in the eerie blue light from the torches on the wall that there is like some of these cracks in the floor that have the blue light glowing from them seem to come from a what looks like slab of stone that's raised about a half inch above the ground.
What is all this?
He seems too focused on repairing the damage done to his body to be able to communicate.
I will wait a moment.
Cool. What's everybody else doing?
I'm trying to pick myself up off the floor.
Making sure my arm still works.
Your arm is stiff. It does feel like a lightning bolt just hit it directly. It's stiff. It's a little bit numb. When you do bend it, you can hear it popping. It's not doing so good.
You okay?
This is terrible.
Ah, please don't yell so loud.
Hmm.
That was
And what's Domiko's doing?
making sure they're doing all right.
Cool.
Trying to also focus on, like, as he remembers the grass suddenly dying around him when he did
Oh, yeah,
some
no.
spellcasting.
Wherever you step, the grass does die.
More
Like
than
in that
it did before.
kind of 5-foot area around you, grass is dying rapidly.
Interesting. I step
Yeah,
back
if you'd
onto the
like to.
path.
If you'd like to, you can make medicine checks to see if you can help alleviate some of Alakai's pain.
Sure.
Ah, shit, I'm standing on the path. Fuck this path. I'll go over here.
Medicine, not my strong suit. But yeah, nope.
Oh, jeez.
No, you're kind of like looking over Alakai. I mean, he did just get hit with a essentially walking mountain.
Yeah, a truck.
Is it just
multiple
me,
times.
Or is it just me, or did he just hit me in the head a lot? And only the head.
That seems to be the easiest place to hit you in.
Ah.
So,
Oh.
Cool. You guys do see the sort of flash of blue light from inside of the tower, and then it goes back to that dull, eerie blue that it was when Kara brought in the light spell. James kind of he stands up to his feet, the rocks groaning, and slowly they seem to almost melt him down into his normal shape.
Are you finished then?
For now, it's going to take a bit more, but I can keep going.
What is all this?
He kind of looks around. I don't know. It's familiar, but I can't. It's like the memories aren't there. But I've been here, but I can't explain it.
All right. Lead the way then.
All right.
I'm trusting you that you're not going to take us back or anything, correct?
I told you I would lead you there.
You've already betrayed my trust once tonight. I don't plan to let it happen again.
I've done what was necessary to protect you.
You might have been thinking you were doing the right thing.
He walks over to the platform that's about half inch above the normal stone and puts his sword on top of it, and the sword seems to melt into the stone itself. And then turns, ready to go?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Right. And he walks outside. Looks at everyone. Kind of looking at everyone, but not at Joven. Just kind of like checking on everyone. Eyes go over Joven. Right, let's go. And he starts walking forward.
All right. Yovin's just gonna start semi-stumble walking,
Yovin,
following.
you wanna sit for like an hour?
Maybe.
Alright.
Maybe. Just gotta wait for the ground to stop moving.
Yeah, you don't look great. I'm gonna cast Tensor's floating disc. Sit.
Look, if you'd rather we wait here until everyone's recovered, we can.
I would rather not, but you'd be the expert on that if we can.
Yeah, it's better. The woods are wild. It's not good to go in there with members of the party not being recovered completely. I'm going to be in the tower if you need me. And he walks back inside of the tower.
So we're waiting here then, Zon?
Yes. Just rest up.
I unfortunately do have a meeting I have to get to back in the city.
Is that really the most important thing to be doing right now?
I would say, not relating to the situation before us, possibly yes.
How long did it take us to even get outside of the city through the sewers?
Oh, it was a fucking long time. Like, it is evening now, where it was like not too late in the afternoon before.
If you can make it back here by morning, then do what you wish. I'm not going to stop you from doing anything.
Are you just gonna wait out here in the forest? 'Cause I think I have to go take care of my fucking arm first.
Can I do a medicine check on her arm?
Yeah, sure. Make a medicine check.
Oh my god.
Starting off the stream right.
So, her arm's fucked. Like, completely fucked up. She
Oh.
definitely fried it with the lightning bolt, but you don't know. You can't,
I'll
It's-
use my last 10 lay on hands directly into her arm.
Cool. So, when he touches you and the divine light flows from his arm into yours, you feel the joint kind of slide back into place.
Oh god.
Muscles don't feel so stiff. However, the scarring still remains.
Better?
God, my mama's gonna kill me. Bad enough that I already have a tattoo, but yes.
Good. Then we don't need to go anywhere.
Oh my God.
All right. So, Damokos, you're heading back to the city?
Yep.
Cool. So, Damokos goes on his way. We'll hop to you in a second, bruv. So, you guys watch him leave and are sitting outside of the tower, which is the glow is starting to build up from inside. And, Joven, because you're. No, your passage should still be good. Joven, you look up, and for a second, there's a dark shape against the top of the tower, like kind of On the ruined part, where it seems that the upper part would connect to it, there seems to be a dark shape almost sitting at the very top. When it notices you looking, it slips inside. You know we're live.
Hey, I didn't know James was on the roof.
What?
He's just right up. Well, there I go. Sliding onto the ground.
I'll go. I'm gonna look up and look at the top of the tower and see nothing there, and then I'll go inside.
Sure. So you see. No. What were you saying, Cara?
Just Joven sliding on. It's like having a puddle of shifter just on the ground.
Yep. Oh.
Suzanne, you look up, don't see anything. Go inside, and you see James is sitting with his back to one of the circular walls. The lights are all kind of, instead of flowing towards the center of the room where he was before, they're flowing to where he is now. He doesn't look like he's moved recently.
James?
One eye cracks open. Yeah?
You were out here by yourself, were you not?
Well, should be. Why?
Oh, just my half-wolf friend said he saw someone crawling on your roof.
Yeah, wolves are insane. Don't trust him. Give him a doggy treat and he'll be fine.
Not sure where all this hatred is coming from. Not the man my father would have hired if he knew that. But
First, your father didn't hire me. I've been around since a long time. Second, you kill enough wolves. It's not really hatred. It's more like they should know by now, but they won't. They won't.
either way, I'll get back to that later, but I'm more inclined to agree that you most likely had something on your roof, and it crawled inside if he said so. He hasn't exactly been untruthful to me before.
Well, I guess I better take a look. He stands up and starts up the ruined stairs.
I mean, I'm following him.
Sure. So you go up. It's about a flight and a half. It's about a flight and a half before the stairs get just too ruined to go up. You do see that there are other floors, like above. You just can't access them by walking up. You can try an acrobatics check to see if you can kind of do a running start wall run to get to the next one if you'd like, but it's going to be difficult.
No athletics. Can't try to climb.
The stone is extremely smooth. You can try, but the DC is going to be high.
It's better to try athletics.
All right.
Between a +4 and a +1.
All right. So you kind of make your way. You're starting to make your way. And you make it about halfway before it just gets too slick for you to climb up. You fall and James grabs you right before you pass him. Oh, let's not try that again. Yeah?
Well, maybe if we weren't living in such a run-down old tower, this wouldn't be so difficult.
I don't live here. I come here to recharge.
Either way.
Right. He starts to head back down the stairs.
Why did we go up? So I follow him back down.
I haven't been able to get down here, but if something did manage to slip by me, it would be down here. This is the only place that I can't reach besides the ruined floors above, but those don't have individual rooms, I wouldn't think. And we'd hear them on the floorboards. He gestures over to the stone that's about a half inch above. He reaches down and lifts it up, revealing that it's a trap door and there's a ladder leading down.
All right. Why can't you reach down here?
I have no idea. Something stops me.
And you're sure it couldn't be anything on the higher floors? He did say it was on the roof. I don't know why it would be down in the basement now.
Well, the higher floors look extremely unstable. If anyone were to go on them, we'd, one, hear them on the wood, and two, they'd be pretty much stuck up there. I don't know how anyone would get on the roof in the first place. This would be the only reasonable place they'd be.
Could be something that could fly.
All right. Well, then let's go outside and check the skies.
Sure. I'm just saying it's more likely that it's upstairs than downstairs.
Well, if you can find a way upstairs, you're more than welcome to go, without endangering your life.
Sure. Step outside. Kara.
What?
You can change form, can you not?
Not right now. I don't have any of my better spell slots anymore. Kinda used them on him, and then pointed James.
Understood.
I might be able to. But do I want to is the question. Because I have 4 hit dice left.
Oh no.
Do it. Do it.
Why? What's going on?
You wouldn't happen to have a way for us to reach a secluded floor?
How high up we talking?
How high was the difference between the stairs and the floor above?
30 feet?
30 feet or so?
Here's the problem. I can get us up. I can't get us down.
Let's see. Do I have any rope? I don't.
I do.
Damakas is walking around with a bag full of rope.
And a fucking immovable rod that I immediately thought of and then forgot that he left.
Well, to be fair, immovable.
Yeah, as far as we know, it still works. If you have rope, that would help us get down.
Yovin's
Rope.
Yovin's off the thing, right? Like, I'm not going to drag him with me if I go upstairs.
No, Yovin's kind of on the ground right now. He's not really attached to anything. He's just kind of chilling.
So I'm gonna look at Yovin. Don't go anywhere.
Will do.
Okay. I'm gonna take the rope, but leave the rest of my backpack with him.
Gotcha. Good to know.
I did not bring Alexander, I don't think. Okay.
You did not.
Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting to get whisked away by a man on a horse. I was expecting to go to a party member's house and just talk about sword pieces. But no, someone's butler had to steal our friend. All right, I'm gonna take the rope and follows on.
Cool. So he, I presume, takes you up to where the difference between the floors is. It does look a little bit rickety upstairs. Like it won't support a lot of weight, maybe one or two of you. But if James were to go up there, he'd crash right through the floor.
Fun.
And quite possibly Joven too.
Oh no! Don't fall on Joven. He's had a rough day.
I am following you guys. I'm outside.
No, I know, but if James goes up there and falls on you,
Well, what I'm saying is the floor wouldn't support either James or Joven.
oh. Okay. Well, it's either just me or also me and Zahn, but I don't know if our combined weight will crash the floor.
That's the risk.
The man is wearing plate armor. I'm going to cast light on the rope that I'm holding so that I can see. And fuck it. It's funny to make him sick. I'm going to grab him and cast a Thunderstep.
Oh, God.
So when you cast this, you go up, several steps break off below you guys and kind of shatter against the floor below. But you guys are on this ruined floor. So there's not much up here. There looks to be another, almost like a ladder up to the next floor. There's a few ruined chests and what looks like a tattered flag on the wall. It's too dirty and torn up to be able to tell what it was.
Is there a place that we can tie this rope to that looks sturdy enough to support our weight so that we can get down?
Make a quick investigation check.
There it is. Not terrible.
It's not terrible. No, so you're checking around and you find where a step was that kind of seems like it has a good mounting into the wall and that it won't fall down under you guys' weight.
I'm gonna tie the rope to that.
Cool.
And I guess toss it over the edge down to where the stairs are so we can get down later.
Okay.
Assuming someone doesn't just pull on it and bring down the rest of the tower with him. James. What are we looking for?
Well, Joven said that someone crawled into the tower, and might as well make sure that no one's up here. And the fact that James can't get up here might lead to something interesting. I don't know.
I'm going to swap light from the rope to my hand so that I can see while we walk around.
Cool. So as you guys are walking around the outer edge of this, you're fine. But when you start walking towards the middle, the floor starts to creak dangerously.
Okay. Don't like that.
Can I just, from the outer edge, is there anything, like, closer to the edge that I can quickly look into, like the chests that are ruined or anything?
Yeah, there's, one of the chests is close by. It's in between you and the rope ladder leading up.
Okay, I just want to search through it. Is there anything in these chests, or are they, like, smashed and completely empty?
So it looks like weather's really taken, like, a beating. The chest, the wood seems to be more eaten away and rotted. The front is locked, and the lock is rusted shut, but you're very easily able to remove the top part of the chest, so you can just get inside. It looks to be old, moth-eaten clothing, and a few, like, what were once treasures, but now time has just eroded away at them.
I'm gonna, like, hold up one of the pieces of clothing. Any idea what time period or anything fashion-wise?
Would that be...
I mean, you're the only other one here.
Well, no, would that be a history check on the clothes?
That would be a history check, yeah.
Okay. This is before we level, so I think that's 7.
Yeah.
Neat.
Nice. So, they're old and they're not Morothian.
Huh.
Like you know, you come from a family of fashion. These are not Moroth fashion clothes. They have never been in style in Moroth. So they've got to be older than the country.
How is it not completely disintegrated yet? It's not from this country, at least. It's a lot older.
Interesting.
Can't exactly tell you how old.
It's interesting
Julia?
enough for something so random. Either way, we should probably either search what we can quickly before the floor gives out, or head up higher where the window actually is.
Do we have to cross the center to get to the ladder?
No, you can easily walk around the outer edge.
Okay. For safety's sake, because I still have tensors up, I think. Unless it disappears when I... Nope.
Well, I don't think he ever got on Tensor's floating disk.
Yeah.
I know, not him, but Joven was on there for a little bit, and then he slid off.
Hmm.
But it might be better if you sit on the disc so you don't fall.
That'll be even better. If you can move me around this floor quickly, I can search through the rest of the belongings here and see if there's anything else that gives any hints to where we are. What is this place?
Oh god, what was that fucking human pulled carriage we were talking about last time? Rickshaw. I'm a rickshaw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna carefully move us around to keep him
Cool.
off the floor, but so that we can search for things.
So, you do get to the other chest. This chest looks a little bit more taken care of. You kind of blow the dust off of it. There do seem to be some runes carved into it. They look weather damaged. However, the chest itself is not completely damaged, and it does have a locked front.
These look magical at all.
I can check. My history is the same as my arcana.
You know all this stuff better than I do. I can't do it myself.
It is +7, right? Yeah, it is.
So they're magical, and this magic seems to be sort of a preservation style magic, but without seeing the complete runes, it'd be too difficult to tell.
Someone really cared about this chest or whatever's in it. They went through a lot to make sure it lasted.
Which more inclines me to lead that it's either magically locked or trapped, so that's not a good idea.
I mean, we
Can
just put it on the disc next to you and open
True.
it later.
If we have enough time, just leave it on the disc and we'll take it down with us.
Is it heavy?
Make a one of you guys make a strength check with advantage to go ahead and lift
I'll
it.
do that.
Yeah.
That's
No.
something I can actually do.
So it,
Oh, that's a save, sorry. So it's
yeah.
actually 12.
Okay. So this thing is fucking heavy. Even with Kara helping you, you are not able to lift it high enough to get it on the disc.
All right, well, let's leave it here and then try to take it down when we come back.
Dokie? Is there anything else for us to check on the
There's a
floor?
rope ladder leading up to the what is left of the top floor.
We'll head over to that.
Cool. So you guys climb this ladder, right? Swinging precariously as you do climb up. This wood is almost completely rotted away. It looks like both of you guys make investigation checks for me. All right. So from what you guys can tell, it almost looks like something ripped the top of this tower off. Like from what you can see here, it looks like there are some steps of what's supposed to lead up to the next floor, but just the way the stones are kind of paired up with each other, somebody tore the top off of this tower. You do notice that there is a chest made of a dark, almost walnut wood with dark iron banding around it on an isolated part of the wood on the other side. You'll have to make a jump to try and get over to where this chest is.
How far is it?
It's about a 10-foot jump.
Oh. Oh wait, that stays like 20 feet behind me, doesn't it? Yep. You would be stuck. Because I can cross that, no problem.
You will also have to make a dex save to not have the rotted wood break under the sudden additional weight. Plate armor would, of course, cause a disadvantage on that dex save.
Oh, look, it's on. You want to come with me? Or I think I can make it by myself. You're muted, by the way. I can't hear a thing you're saying.
My bad. Would it be athletics or acrobatics to make that jump?
Since it's just a 10-foot jump, we're going to go by normal rules. So it's just whatever your strength score is, you can make that jump easily.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'll easily make that jump. I could make that jump, but it's gonna be precarious on the other side. How confident are you that you'll be able to land on the other side and not fall through the floor?
I can fly.
Well, if you can do that, then why didn't you do this to begin with?
Because I wanted to know if you wanted to come with me or not.
Well,
because that would change how heavy the.
I don't know if I can stand on the floor over there, so you do you.
All right.
Bring whatever you find back.
Okie dokie. I'm just gonna pick a point into the sky and fire off a level 1 chromatic orb, like fire or whatever.
Okay.
And then use tempestuous magic to just fly across to the other side.
Cool. What is y'all's passive?
11.
Mine's also 11.
Okay, yeah, never mind. So the little ball of fire goes up, and you easily float over. Go ahead and make a dex save when you land on the other side.
Okie dokie.
You should have +3 because you're within 10 feet of me. So it's
that's
20.
20.
Perfect. So you land, and the wood doesn't even creak at all. So you're looking at this chest. You're seeing whole runes across it. This chest has the whole preservation spell on it. It does have a really rather simple looking lock on the front.
Can I check it for traps?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Oh god. Oh no.
You don't find any traps.
Oh great. I only have
While she's in the middle of that, I'm gonna take a look around and make sure nothing's up here, because that was the reason why we came up here in the first place.
Sure, make a perception check.
Oh.
Nope. For a second there, you kind of lose sight of Kara, and then, okay. It's just dark up here.
I got rid of acid splash too. Shit. Can I try and pick it open with one of my daggers?
Yeah, what would that be? That would be, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check with disadvantage.
Oh boy. If I turn this on, will you work? Or will you just spit out stupid Nope, it works.
So for a second, you just kind of stick your dagger in there and are kind of wiggling it around. And for a second, it feels like it's kind of gotten loose. And then you hear the tumblers click back into place.
Shit. How? If I try and pick it up, how heavy is it?
It's pretty heavy. You would not be able to carry this on your own. You can always break the floor.
Sure, but I could also fall to my death.
There are pros and cons to every plan, Kara. Sacrifices.
No, fuck you.
Kara,
yeah.
how does this floating disc work?
You sit on it, and you stay within 20 feet of me at all times.
Well, if, say, there wasn't a floor underneath it, would it stay in the air?
No.
Or would it go slowly down, or would it go very fast?
You know, I've never had to check that. I'm pretty. Oh, hello, kitty. I'm pretty sure that, like, more than 10 feet down, it's not gonna work anymore. Like a 10-foot drop, I don't think it's gonna work anymore.
I have an idea.
Do you?
But it might be a little crazy.
Really? That's surprising.
Yes, hold on one second.
Alright.
I'm gonna climb back down the ladder.
Oh, he's leaving me.
Oh god.
His crazy
try to
idea
catch
is
this
to
chest.
abandon me.
Just straight up, do not try to catch this chest.
I'm not trying to catch a chest. I have these javelins that I want to try to stick into the wall underneath where the chest is.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. How many javelins do you have? How many are you
I have
planning on
5 of
sticking?
them. I have
So you're
5
gonna
of them.
You're gonna stick all 5, or
How high is the ceiling to the floor on the second floor?
it's about maybe 12 feet, give or take.
I will stick 3 of them, each about 4 feet apart.
Cool. Yeah, you easily. Actually, no. Make a ranged attack roll to see if you can pierce this stone.
Sure. That's going to be a d20 plus my dex plus proficiency, so 20 plus 4.
Yeah. So
No problem.
you throw it and it sinks in. You find the exact part where the stones are mortared, like right in between where they're mortared, and get them sticking in.
That worked better than I thought it would. I'm gonna climb back up the stairs, up the ladder, get back on the disc. Come back over here.
Okay. The question is, do I spend another spell slot or do I just jump?
Can I reach my greatsword, the non-sharp end, over across from on the sphere and just make a bridge for her to grab onto?
Sure, you can. That would give her advantage on the athletics or acrobatics check to hop on over.
The thing about this also is I could potentially try and melt the lock.
Could also do that.
I can do acid. Okay. Well, I can do it before or after I cast the spell, so I'm just gonna float my way over to him and then cast chromatic orb at the chest. Acid.
Excellent. So, are you casting it just at the chest, or?
I'm casting at the chest to try and remove the lock problem.
Okay, go ahead and make a ranged spell attack roll to see if we can just hit the lock.
Okie dokie.
If you hit low enough, that's where the
Oh.
fun stuff begins.
It didn't work.
Oops.
This is what I thought would happen when I tried disadvantage. I think it's 6 currently.
So you fire off your little ball of acid, and it does hit the lock, and the lock just kind of melts away.
Neat. That solves the problem of unlocking it. Where did you go? What are you doing?
In my mind, I didn't see her throw the acid as she jumped over, and I was sort of just preparing for her to jump over, and I'm just throwing a javelin into the ground beneath the chest and hoping that it breaks.
Not even gonna make you roll for that. Like, as soon as she leaves, you throw out the javelin, it hits the ground, and you guys hear the sickening crunch of rotted wood as this chest falls. It hits the first javelin, and the crunch of it breaking through. Then the crunch of the second one. Then it hits the third one and kind of slides off and hits the floor right below you guys at a sideways angle. And we're going to see whether that was enough to break through the floor and possibly kill James below.
He'll be fine.
And you guys kind of are watching it frozen. You guys hear the groaning of the wood. But everything's solid. Everything's good.
The man took 60-some lightning damage to the face. He'll be fine if one chest
This is a
falls
heavy
on him.
chest falling from so high up.
Okay, but I'm sure
just
he's
gonna
had worse.
chalk that up that I'm a genius, and that'll be that. That solves that problem. Downward we go. Try to grab the other chest again.
Has the chest broken open? Or is it okay?
Oddly enough, when you melted the lock, you didn't unclasp it. So the little metal circle bit still has a little piece of metal that kind of got jammed up in mid-fall, so that the top did not throw itself open and spill the contents everywhere.
Cool.
But you guys did hear the shattering of glass as it fell.
Well.
Oh shit.
Oops.
God. Could we get it onto the disc at the angle that it's at right now?
It is kind of leaned up against the javelin, so it would take a little bit of maneuvering, but you could definitely do that. Or you could open it and just take the contents.
That's true.
The chest itself is very heavy.
Yeah. I don't want to open it.
I'll open it.
So you open it,
health.
and you're hit with this burst of almost fresh air that's been preserved. Inside, you see
Vacuum sealed.
That's right. Inside, you see a fuck ton of glass all over, some preserved robes and a metal book. Very similar to another metal book you guys picked up in another place very similar to this.
Yeah, I know.
Pick up the book because I'm curious. Also, is the glass is there liquid on the robes? Or
No. The glass, you can't tell what it was from, but it doesn't seem to have contained any liquid.
Is there any if it was bottles, are any of them still intact, or are they all broken? Is it all shattered?
You can't tell what it was. It looks like it hit the top of the chest when it was falling down.
All right.
If we take the pieces, I do no mending, but it might take a while.
Is everyone okay?
We're fine. No need to worry. We can handle ourselves.
Does it just look like regular glass, though? There's nothing on it.
Make an investigation check.
Okey-dokey. Wow.
It's just glass. You
Cool.
can't see any specific designs or anything on that. You don't know what would just be made of glass sitting inside this chest, but there's just broken glass.
Like if I know.
If it wasn't containing anything, I don't really see there's any use for it. That I don't really think it's worth our time. Just get that other chest and let's go.
Well, I'm gonna empty the contents onto the disc. I want to see what the robes look like.
Sure. So they are ornate. Make an investigation check, purely due to your own fashion background. These are some high quality robes. They look like they're made to withstand heavy weather and almost seem resistant to the elements a little bit. They're made to flaunt wealth, almost like a mixture of showing off and also being durable enough that it could potentially, this is just from you like testing the fibers a little bit, it could potentially block at least a dagger strike.
Part of me just wants to put it on. But part of me feels like we should identify it first in case it's cursed.
Everything else has been cursed, so why not?
Look, this is just a robe you found in a creepy tower. It's definitely not cursed.
That's
Fine,
not.
just put on the robe of dagger attraction.
Listen, I have a bag of infinite daggers. This is fine. It's fine.
I'll go search the other chest once more.
Gotcha.
See
Okay,
if
so
it can be lifted onto the disc.
sure. Akari, you're helping him, yeah?
And I'm
Or
gonna
you
Put
put
on the rope first, and then I'm gonna help him.
I'm gonna collect any of my javelins that I've also not broken.
There's one actually, there's the javelin that broke the floor and one javelin that was in the wall.
Okay, so I have 3 javelins left.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go try to get this other chest.
Sure. Athletics check.
All right.
So this time, you don't know why, but it's easier to pick up this chest.
Feeling good
put
about
it on
my
top of the
genius plan.
And so as you guys do make your way down to where James is, we're going to hop on over to Damikos. Damikos, you managed to make your way home within the next 30 minutes.
Okay. Before passing through any gate leading back into Moroth, I'm just going to burn two charged runes
Of course.
to not be glowing anymore.
Sure.
So yeah, which I can do, and it just did nothing. But I just don't want to be a glowing walking
Sure.
man through the street.
Makes sense. So you do no longer glowing, make your way through the gates, and are headed to where you and your brother used to hang out. So it's about another 30 to 45 minutes. You are running a little bit late to this meeting.
I'll keep going.
Cool.
Speed up a little bit, maybe.
Your passive's also 11, right?
My passive is nothing, Morgan. You know this. It's also 11. Yes.
God, it's not even fun having people try to sneak around you guys.
This is what happens when you make a pact with some sort of otherworldly deity. You lose your perception bonus.
It was
So-
only up to 13 before. Okay.
Okay, but that's better than 3 of us having 11.
All right, so Yeah, you're fine. You go on. And why don't you describe where you and your brother used to hang out?
So it's probably somewhat nearby the Great Castle Estate, just so it's relatively easy to get to
Right.
without going too far. But it was, and still is, though there's probably less of it there now than it was when we were younger. It was always this park that was very well maintained, just by Moroth. But it was always there was this tree there that was nice and large, and like in the summer it would provide shade and whatnot. But it was always just a peaceful place to get to,
Cool. So
to get away from the chaos.
that's right. So as you get up to this place, your foot kind of slips a little bit in the
it does.
grass. When you look down, and I assume you have at least one rune showing you light or some other way of showing light.
I mean, I have dark vision.
Fair enough, but so the grass seems a little bit darker stained than everything else.
I will. Is it like blood or something?
Right now, are you reaching down to touch it, to feel it, or just using your dark vision?
Sure, I'll investigate it. by
Yeah, make an
touching
investigation check.
it. Oh, not that one. I want to intimidate the grass to tell me.
So you reach down, and as you go down, the smell hits you. This is blood, and it is fresh blood. Looking around, you can see that there's more of it leading towards the tree.
I am going to make my way towards the tree cautiously.
So you walk up, and sitting behind the tree in a chair, your father is cleaning his hands with a a small white towel. Hello, Domicos. Looks over at you, his devil mask gleaming in the moonlight.
Hello.
Made your decision yet?
Not yet. No, I'm pretty sure I have like one more day.
Well, it's
We're in that day now, but
a matter of hours, Domicos.
I have not yet.
Disappointing. Meeting someone?
I mean, possibly. I was supposed to meet with my brother, actually, Robert.
I don't see Robert. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be sleeping on the large decision that you're going to be making?
Are his hands bloody?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. His hands are not bloody, but he did tuck the towel away into a pocket into one of his pants.
And like, is the blood trail like leading Like just up to the tree, or like to him, or
The blood trail leads up to the tree and then kind of disappears. Your brother is asleep at home, I'd assume. Why don't you go join him? Go to your room, sleep on it. Come to a decision on what you should do to help benefit the family.
and I plan to. I'm a little concerned. Did you notice this blood right over here?
This is Moroth. There's not an inch of this city that's not covered in blood.
It's true. I just, I did not expect to see that here necessarily. While we are here, Robert did tell me that things have changed slightly since I've been gone.
Well, I should think it's obvious. The jesters have gotten a larger handhold in the city. It's disrupting business. Someone should really put a stop to them. It's almost as if the queen is losing control.
Yes, that is definitely one way to look at it.
Very well. If you must, stay here, have your meeting, talk to the tree if you must. We'll be on our way. He stands up and starts to walk away and snaps his fingers. Out of the shadows of the tree, a larger, more muscular servant with the same faceless mask that all Grey Castle servants wears picks up the chair, folds it, and follows after your father silently.
That particular servant, have I seen him before at all?
You
Or is
have
he-
not.
No, okay. He's new to the family. All right. After they go, I stand there. Is there anything up in the tree?
Make an investigation check.
Wrong tab. There we go.
So you don't see anything up in the tree. However, you do see footsteps leading over to the hollow in the tree on the side.
I'm gonna go to the hollow. And I'm going to just kind of give myself a little light by lighting a torch.
Sure.
Just to,
You light a torch, and you do see one of the things you see is a large slice in this tree. Like there's still sap leaking out of this slice. And inside the hollow, you see an old bird's nest, a few broken shells, and a small letter.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand to go grab the letter and bring
You guys
it
are
to me.
so paranoid. So yeah, so the
It's
letter.
Moroth, Morgan.
So you pull the letter over, and your name is hastily scrawled on the front in your brother's handwriting.
Okay. I'm going, before looking at the note or anything, like opening it before I do that. Where in relation to this opening, like, is the blood on, like, leading up to the tree? Is it just leading?
It's actually, the blood is extremely close to this part of the tree.
Okay. I'm going to spend another glowing rune, a charged rune,
Okay.
and I am going to use it to reveal any hidden magical marks, runes, wards, or glyphs within 15 feet of me.
So you take a look around, your eyes flash, and you're not seeing any of those.
I'm going to look at the letter. Open it.
It's a hastily scrawled note. It says, "I've been followed. He's going mad. Don't trust them."
I've been followed. He's going mad. Don't trust them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tuck the note into my pockets. Just do one last look around to see if I can see if anything else I don't notice, but I probably don't. And if I don't, I'm going to... let's see. Where do I want to go? Guess I'm going to make my way back to everyone.
Cool. You make your way back. All right. So you guys have this chest. He's going to go on. You guys are going to be examining through this chest for a little bit, and then Damika is going to rejoin us. Okay.
Sure.
Excellent. So you guys have the chest down safely on the bottom floor of this tower. The inch-high stone is still raised up, revealing the ladder down to the subterranean depth below the tower.
What the fuck is that? In regards to the hole.
James had said that there's a basement to this tower that he has never been able to go down to because something blocks him from doing so.
Okay.
Either way, chest first.
Can I poke my head out of the tower and see if Yovin's doing okay?
Yovin, how you doing? Actually, Yovin, you're pretty much recovered. You're not 100%, but you're good enough right now.
Yeah. Do I see her poking her head out of the tower to take a peek?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give a wave and a thumbs up, and then start making my way to the tower.
There was nothing up there except for some chests. You might.
Does this look familiar?
You speaking to James?
Yes.
Just put on the robe, by the way.
You have the robe on?
Yeah.
So there's a moment where it kind of hangs extremely loosely around you. It kind of feels heavy, like almost like you're wearing armor. And it kind of like swishes awkwardly when you walk. Go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Okay.
That's a little weird, right? Throwing in these new checks.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hanging a bit awkwardly off of you. It's not uncomfortable, but it's heavy.
Did
Yeah,
you shrink?
No, I found this in one of the chests upstairs, and it's just a little. I mean, like, most clothes are tailored to you. It's obviously isn't mine, but I thought it was pretty.
It does, like, on closer inspection, it does have, like, now that you're in the actual blue light, you see that the light is kind of almost bouncing off of some designs on this robe of just kind of like embroidered flowers, some bees, some birds, just kind of nature scenes across it.
I'm doing
Looks
a little
nice.
twirl thing, like you would with a cape.
Very heavy. Kind of like the bottom of it thunks against your legs.
Feels like I'm wearing a carpet.
I mean,
Uh,
I figured your siblings can probably take a look at that.
maybe. Anyway, you want to come inside and look at the chests we found?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
what did you didn't find anyone?
There wasn't anyone that we saw, just one real heavy chest on one floor and one really pretty but still very heavy chest on another floor.
Must have been seeing things. Sorry about getting y'all rattled.
You took quite a few hits to the head. I don't blame you.
I'm gonna go in and look at wherever James is and try to keep a wide distance.
So James is sitting cross-legged against one of the circular walls. He has one eye open. No, none of this looks familiar to me.
Right. Look in that second chest then. See what's inside.
Sure. It still is locked. The lock is a little bit rusted, but it's still locked.
Try to stick bladed sword in the crack. If there's any like crack open, just like handlebar it open.
Make a athletics check.
Sure. God damn it.
So you stick your
Gave
blade
the
in and
other
you
roll.
kind of bend it down, trying to break open the chest, and the lock holds firm, and you can hear the slight groan of your blade metal. Almost feels like it's about to start bending in your with the force you're pushing down.
I'm gonna take out one of my javelins, hand it to Yovan.
Oh dear.
Get on the other side, please.
Do you want me to try and
All
mount
right.
it first before you
No.
two pull a muscle?
No.
Both of you.
I mean,
We're
I got a
trying
hand
again.
axe. I can just, bash it out.
God.
Just do what I tell you, please. Put it the javelin
Oh, all right.
thing.
All right,
Tell him.
both you guys roll athletics checks. Let's see if your combined score will beat this.
Oh,
Well, 24
That's
is
24.
fucking crazy.
that is 24.
Either way, like, so you guys both heave at the same time. There's a moment, and then the lock is just torn in half as the top comes flying off.
See, no problem.
I used to have to break these open sometimes. You want to just get down.
So inside, there's some more clothes. There is what looks like a empty glass vial, and there's also a quill. It's on closer inspection. It seems to be a special quill. The inside is almost hollow, and the feather part of the quill seems to be a bendable metallic.
Right. And this glass vial, just nothing interesting about it. Just glass.
There's nothing inside of it. Looks like it was used to hold something, but it's empty now.
Okay. Well, this one is a little bit uninteresting.
I mean, the quill looks fancy.
I've seen many quills. Nothing crazy about this one to me.
While they're doing that, Sorry, the curtain moved. While they're doing that, can I look at the book that we found?
Sure. Yeah. So you take a look at the book, and there are letters on the front in very similar language to the other book. You don't quite recognize it, and then after a moment of study, the letters kind of shift themselves around to say Theobrin the Mad.
Oh, shit! I'm gonna hold it up to them. Can y'all read this?
Can we read it?
No, it's a language you guys don't quite understand. And then Damikos, you come walking into the tower.
Nothing I could understand.
Really? Turn it back around to look at the cover.
It says Theobrin the Mad.
What the fuck? I'm gonna open it, see if I can read what's written.
So it seems to be less of actual words and more of diagrams. If you had longer time to study them, you could potentially translate them. But right now, you see a sketch of the tower, and then actually make an investigation check. Let's see what you can make, whether you can make heads or tails of this.
Nope. I don't think so.
So you really can't. This tower does come up quite a bit, though, and you almost do see a drawing up James inside of this.
I'm gonna hold it up to James. Compare it side by side.
It's James.
Oh my god.
What do you got there?
Can they see the pictures at least?
Yes, they can see the pictures.
I'm gonna gesture with the book towards James.
Just flitched.
That is very interesting.
Ah! When the fuck did you get here?
I walked in the door like a minute ago. All of you are looking at the book.
Oh, can I get my I was gonna say, can I get my Yoven back from backpack?
Yes,
Can
you're
I
getting
get-
back from you. Well, Kara's made her decision on who she's marrying.
Can I get my backpack back?
Oh yeah.
Yo,
Here you go. I'm just gonna toss it over to her.
Thanks. Put the book in my backpack.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's anything like the last book we found, that's something pertaining to a guardian.
It actually has a picture of James in there. So
You
I
showed
think-
me, I saw it.
Yeah. It's whoever he was called the Mad, so I don't think he was the guardian.
Is there a name to that, or is this just this is property of the mad?
What was it? Theobrin or
Theobrin. That's Theobryn.
Theobrin the Mad? There's a lot of diagrams in here. I think if I had a little more time, I might be able to get something more out of it, but it could tell us who made James.
I mean,
And
we're
this
gonna
tower.
be on the road, assuming.
We'll have plenty of time to look it over while we're moving, or sometime tonight if you like. I have many things I need to ask, anyways.
I
And
would like to rest. I don't have many spell slots left.
Do what you need to do.
I also have some things that I would like to discuss with the group. It's the things that I wanted to speak about anyways. But whenever that comes up.
Well, if we're going to rest here, I'm going to go ahead and shut this. And he walks, like James pushes himself up and goes to the wall where he pulls out, like previously unseen, what look like doors and slides them into place in the doorway of the tower.
What the hell? This place is fucking weird.
That's wow.
We do still have a forbidden basement to look at.
Forbidden what?
Do you
Forbidden.
want to go in the basement, though, is my question.
I don't necessarily think it's forbidden. I just can't get in it.
Well,
How-
it was more a figure of speech.
Mm.
Either way, it could lead to more answers about this place if you don't feel like reading the book right now.
Well, how far down does the ladder go?
Not very far. 15 feet.
That's only 5 feet of darkness. And you cast light on the ladder.
Sure. So from what you can see is it does lead into a passage.
Oh, spooky.
James, you
Right.
said you couldn't go down there?
Yes.
Like any distance, or just you can't like even?
He walks over. He like pushes himself back up with a groan, walks over and makes to like step onto the ladder. And it's almost like you can see the exertion that he's putting down, but his leg won't go past the top of the door.
I kind of figured it's because you wouldn't fit down there, but that is also a problem.
I'm gonna spend a charged rune. You know what I'm doing, Morgan.
You, in fact, see that there is a rune on James's chest, and there's a rune on the bottom part of this door. And they are very similar.
Well, everyone will see this apparently because it reveals.
Gotcha.
So,
So these runes just kind of gleam
it
out.
glows.
What the hell?
Well, that's never happened before.
Oh, I have dark vision.
James ignores you.
God, I'm the only
Deserved.
one who got
Well, apparently that might be a reason as to why you can't go down. I'm not certain. But it seems there's something possibly arcane keeping you from maybe even linking you to that.
Anyone up for some spelunking?
I'll head down.
I'm gonna go to.
Might as
Okay.
well. That was my idea
well.
in the first place.
Mhm.
Any chance I can get you to cast light on this? I'm gonna hold out my great axe.
Cast light on his axe
Cool.
as opposed to the ladder.
Thanks.
So you reach out to touch the great axe to cast light, and you instantly feel cold. You feel hollow and empty.
Oh.
I'm gonna pull my hand
And the
back
great
before I
axe
cast
does not
light.
get lit.
What's up?
Does it feel like the dagger?
Yes.
Oh my god.
What? What is it?
Can you feel it when you're holding it?
Well, yeah, it's kind of heavy.
Damokos, come here.
Yes,
You touch
What's up?
the axe.
I touched the axe.
Instantly cold. Like even before you touch it, you feel cold and hollow,
Feels familiar, right?
disconnected.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good.
Um,
What's not good?
Well, okay. I cast light on my hands and I start going down the ladder.
So,
Now hang on a minute.
Goodbye.
What's not good?
I have no idea what they're talking about, but let's get going.
so you guys head down the ladder, Kara leading the way with her hands of light. So about this pathway is long. It's about 60 feet long, and about 15 feet into it, you start to notice that there are statues of figures very similar to James that are carved to hold up the ceiling. And right when you get to the very end, on the right side, one of them is missing.
Is there anything else down here? It's just that.
Yeah, so it goes into a T intersection at the end.
Okay.
Just pause for dramatic effect.
Where he came from?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Possibly.
When the light does reach down here, there is a torch at the T that kind of starts to glow with that soft blue, eerie light.
Can I see anything down in any direction in particular?
Sure. On the right, both sides, there are smooth black surfaces.
All right. Well, I guess we just go clockwise and see which way whatever this needs to. So, head left first.
Cool. So you take the left. Car, do you still have light up?
Yep.
You don't see anything. Just a smooth black wall.
I have a feeling you need to turn your magic hands off.
So after you do that, light, like you guys start to see thin blue filaments creep across the wall, and a door is almost carved out of this black stone.
What the hell is this?
Is it like the cave?
Yes.
Does it have the crown on it?
It does not, but it does not. No.
I'm gonna open the door.
Sure. So you put your hands on it and push it open and slide out, and there are 6 total beds in here. There is a flag with the crown on it. There's also a desk in the back corner with stacks of paper, and there is also some paper like on the floor.
I'm just gonna start investigating all these papers just thrown about everywhere.
Yeah, same.
Sure. Both you guys make investigation checks.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. So, Zahn, you're examining the papers, and they're all written in a language you don't understand. Like, you see there are part drawings on some, what look like angrily scratching out of some words, and then different ones being scribbled on top. You're not really able to make heads or tails of what these things are. Domicus, this desk, you looking through it, it contains several quills that look to be like hollow tubing with metallic feathers on them. And it also has several small vials about this big of a green bubbling liquid. And what looks like a gods above, I'm forgetting the name for it. It's a thing that helps you pour a lot of liquid into a smaller container. Funnel. Thank you. Christ. It looks like a small glass funnel.
Looking at the bubbling green liquid, am I able to tell what it is? Have I seen this before?
Make a nature check. This is a slime. In fact, a highly acidic slime.
Set it down carefully. We have some slime over here.
Like literal
like-
slime?
Slimes. Nature. Slimes.
Oh.
Acid. Slimes.
Oh,
Okay.
that doesn't
Wouldn't
sound
know
good.
anything about that.
I'm just...
I'm gonna go see what Zon's reading.
Sure. Yeah, make an investigation check.
You find anything? Nope. It doesn't want me to find anything.
No, same thing that Zon's looking at. A bunch of half-finished diagrams and somebody angrily, what you assume would be angrily writing over their own handwriting.
Does it look like the same handwriting from the book?
It does.
Huh. Why are there 6 beds in here?
One for every day of the week, -1.
So you can't read these writings, but you can read the ones in the book.
In my defense, it is dark in here.
That is true, I guess.
But it is the same handwriting.
Kara, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh no.
You're welcome.
Oh no.
So
You have
You
plus
kind of-
3 because you're within 10 feet of me.
Dead.
So you kind of look up at Zon, and he almost seems to melt away. And you see a figure in a tight-fitting tunic that is almost exactly similar to what the kind of long dress you're wearing right now. Kind of push open the heavy stone door, and he has a stack of papers in his hand and one of those quills. He's looking around, balls up the top paper, throws it at one of the beds, starts to scribble down, looks around, and his eyes meet yours for a second. He kind of cocks his head to the side and then starts muttering to himself, draws a big X through one of the papers, just takes the top half and kind of throws it onto the desk and turns and walks out.
Hello.
She got disconnected. So I'm going to have her repeat all of that when she gets back.
Oh boy. I thought it was just really good method acting.
I did too. I was like, she's really lost in thought. Now, while we wait for her to reconnect, what is everyone else doing in this room?
I'm looking under the beds to see if there's anything stashed there.
Make a perception check for me.
There we go. 16.
You find a glass dagger with what looks like to be a little cork at one end of it.
Huh. Well, hey guys, look at this. It says peek back up, hold the glass dagger vial.
No, it's a full-size dagger.
Oh,
It just has a cork in the end of it.
oh.
You know would you like that?
I think I do, to be honest. I'll hold on to it for now, though. Add it to the list of things to get checked out.
Do we want to keep this slime?
Is it
Vials?
sealed?
Is it? It's
I
not
mean,
gonna try and
yes.
eat us, is it?
I don't know if I'd be able to answer that question.
I
Morgan.
don't
Make
see
it-
a reason why we should keep it.
Make a quick investigation check.
Hey, there we go.
So it seems sealed. You kind of do a little shake with it and kind of like shake it, and then, but it while it hits the top, like the glass cork that's keeping it, it doesn't seem to be disintegrating any of the eating away at the glass.
I mean, it looks safe.
But what would you use it for?
I don't know. It's something that's
Exactly.
here.
It seems like an unnecessary risk.
You mean you don't want to carry around like 15 vials of slime?
No.
One of your characters would have.
Well, this one doesn't have any idea about any sort of slimes.
I'm going to.
The other
put-
one probably wouldn't have either. But
He probably tried to chuck it away.
I'll put the vials back where I found them.
Cool. All right. So, Kara,
Sorry.
no worries. What was the last thing you heard?
That's an excellent question. I don't think I heard anything.
Cool. So, as you look up to Zahn, he kind of melts away, and you see a figure push open the large stone door. He's wearing a tight-fitting tunic that is almost exactly similar to the long dress-like clothing you're wearing right now. And he has one of those pens and a stack of papers in his hand. He walks in, looks around, looks back at the paper, shakes his head, crumples up the top one, and throws it on the bed to his right. Then he looks again, makes a big X through the top, and then just takes the top half, slams it down on the desk. On his way out, he looks at you, and you guys make eye contact for a second. And he kind of cocks his head to the side, eyes kind of squint a little bit. And then he shakes his head and mutters to himself as he leaves the room.
Follow him?
Sure. So, Kara leaves the room, following this figure.
hello, Kara.
She
I'm good.
cannot hear you.
Keep following her because I'm confused.
So, Kara, you see he calls out in a language that you don't quite understand, and then pushes through the door at the other end of the hall. And you push open the door and follow through, where you see there is a figure sitting in a heavy, dark plate, very similar to what the Cheshire Knight wears and very similar to what was found on Murav. And this figure is busy almost like unscrewing their hand. They take off the prosthetic, shout something back, slam it down on the table, and that's where you kind of everything shimmers and you go back. You're standing in what looks like a musty, almost dining area. There's some cobwebs on some wooden tables, and there is a black metal prosthetic hand sitting on the table. So you guys see her leave, see her push open the door at the other end of the hallway, and when you follow in, also see the musty dining area that has a stack of papers on one table and a black prosthetic metal hand on one of them.
Guess this is where they ate.
Kara, as I put a hand in front of her face.
Huh?
You're still with us.
I'm gonna put my hand on his face.
It's real.
Okay.
That was weird. Please don't touch me without my permission.
Valid.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna turn around and walk over to the hand and the papers. Are they by each other or are they separate?
They are not. It kind of looks like the way the papers are scattered across one table, it looks like they were tossed.
I'm gonna take a look at the papers.
Sure, make an investigation check. So it's once again half-finished diagrams, more scribbling. There is one part of it that is jagged underline, and then right next to it is an entire block of words that just has a big X through it.
I'll put that page in my backpack
Cool.
and go check out the hand.
Sure. So this is a black metal prosthetic hand. Go ahead and make another investigation.
Oh boy.
I would like to check out the hand too.
Also make an investigation check.
She is tripping balls.
So, both of you guys see that this is a prosthetic hand, and it does seem to be like it can be fitted to. It really looks like it can fit it to any prosthetic. It does have a built-in, almost like it screws on, but it looks like that's adjustable. Kara, you notice that it does have the same blue lines running through it that James has running through his body.
I'm gonna shake it, see if it's hand waves or anything.
So you go to pick it up, and it is cold to the touch. The blue lines they're still kind of faint when you pick them up, but the fingers do seem to be fully adjustable, and even the hand tilts a bit on its wrist. So it has fully working joints.
Someone just took off their arm one day and forgot about it for the rest of their life. Turn around and hold out to Zahn. It's made of the same stuff as James is, probably, and the rest of this tower, but it does look like you could use it if you want to.
I'll look it over. Would it even work with my, like, clasper hand?
So it looks like it would be it's made out of better material. It would take a little bit of adjusting to get it to work, but it's not impossible.
Hold on to it. I don't know how I'm going to use it. It's not exactly my forte to repair this, so... Other than minor things, so we'll see. As I sort of hold up the one hand that is literally just like a circular clasper to wrap around a sword and nothing else. It doesn't exactly work well with fingers.
It might have belonged to one of the guardians.
All the more reason to have it checked out.
Yeah.
You have a bag of holding. I have a backpack. Put it in your bag of holding.
Exactly. Give it to me and I will.
I did.
Okay, then I will put it in the bag holding.
Since we're all about exchanging stuff, I found this and I thought it'd be more of your forte. We're to pull out the glass dagger that appears to have a cork at the end of it. I found it under a bed.
Okay. Why does it have a cork on it?
Just...
Oh God, is that where the slimes go?
I hope not.
Well,
you keep saying you got a bag of infinite daggers. I figured
I do.
Or one more thing in there.
Can I see if it'll go into the bag of infinite daggers?
We've already tried putting daggers inside the bag. It doesn't seem like it'll accept daggers, but it will hold them. Like the ones that are already in there are in there, but it won't accept any more daggers.
Boo. Sure, I'll put it in my backpack.
Cool.
Where did you go, by the way?
Did you see him?
Who?
No.
See who?
You sort of just spaced out and then walked out the door.
There was a guy who was wearing like gonna twirl in the coat. He was wearing something that kind of looked like this, and
that lightning must have fried your brain.
Once again, it hits against your leg. You're now getting from both times. You're kind of starting to bruise on your legs where it's hitting you.
It's fine. This is fine. It didn't fry my brain. There was someone else in here too. The guy that owned that arm at some point.
What did they look like? Besides your outfit.
Well, I mean, the guy whose arm that was looked like S, but like armor-wise, I don't think they took the armor up, so I don't know what they like physically looked like. But the armor was the same.
That lightning must have fried your brain.
Oh my god. It did not fry my brain. We do magic for
Sure.
fuck's sake. I'm gonna do a sweep of the rest of the room and see if there's anything else in here.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Kara needs to sleep.
So, you notice, like, you're kind of looking around, and you notice that there's something odd on the floor. Right where you saw the person sitting, where after they had unscrewed their hand, there's what looks like scorch marks on the ground. Then you take a look, and there's scorch marks on that table, and there's even like scorch marks on the wall on the opposite side of the room, where like behind where this person was sitting.
Cast light on my hand.
Sure. These are huge scorch marks. Whatever was sitting here was fried.
Ooh.
Because at this point, Kara doesn't care. She's gonna touch them.
Cool. So you touch it, and the scorchness like seems to come off on your hand, almost like this ash has just been settled there.
That's weird. It's not like person ash, right? It's like
Make an investigation check, or make an insight check.
God.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Oh no. I'm still connected.
How familiar are you with person ash compared to fire ash?
You know, I don't have to answer that question.
Could be person ash, could be firewood ash. Who fucking knows? Ash is ash.
Something burned here.
Sure looks like someone got vaporized to me. But how that's relevant to what we're doing right now, I do not know.
How recent? Any idea?
Well, you did see her just kind of like run her fingers across it, and ash came off in her fingers, so it's not caked on there. But this has also been pretty much a sealed room.
Yeah.
Given Amakos's recent run-ins with fire, would he be able to know?
Yeah, make an insight check. This is people ash. Someone was vaporized here.
Yep. Whoever was here is not here no more.
Oh God, I touched it.
Seems like there's some sort of real bad stuff going on down here. Questionable stuff.
I suppose.
Not really, but
I mean, people
just
don't
keep
get-
moving. Well, yes, obviously, but like I said, nothing really.
You guys have been
points to
down
any-
there for a while. Everyone okay?
We're fine. Jesus.
You're not my dad.
Just keep moving and finish up down here. So you can all rest and do whatever we need to do.
Are there any other doorways that we could see within this room besides back the way we came?
Yeah, there's one like just ordinary wooden door in the left corner. When you go inside, it looks like it leads to a small cooking area where it looks like there's a ventilation shaft that leads up.
Might as well be thorough. Who knows? Might find some vintage aged alcohol.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Fine. I'll help.
That is advantage. Or he's
Oh.
growing it. So you guys search through. You guys don't really find any alcohol.
Ah, well,
That was a waste of time. Let's go.
right behind you.
So you guys are gonna take a long rest? You sleeping in the beds or no?
Well, I was gonna go explore this last way.
Oh,
there-
it
There's
came
only
into
two
a
ways.
T
Wait.
intersection.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's only left and right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going back up where James is.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping down here.
I'm going back up as well.
I'm gonna stay down here. There's a bed.
Cool. So you guys split off, do your long rest.
I
And
was going to
Kara-
speak to James before we went
Oh
to sleep.
shit, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we got conversations.
Fuck, all right, yeah, you guys go ahead, do your conversations.
Oh, I forgot about that. There's beds down here, you guys.
It's like a sleepover.
Well, so you don't remember anything about this place other than you need to come here to heal.
Right.
Well, down there are several statues that look very similar to you, with one of them missing, which I assume was at some point you, if I was to be inquisitive.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah. Along with that, there was bedding for 6 people and a dining area.
Hmm.
Along with some visions that one of our members had about
His
a
eyes kind
person
of
with it.
his guys kind of flick over to Yovan and then go back.
Not Yovan.
Hmm.
Man wearing this as I'll pull out the hand and flop it around a bit.
He takes it. This is high quality. Movable joints? Hmm. We'll have to get this on your arm as soon as possible. This would be way better quality.
Well, we'll see.
He hands you back the hand.
I'll throw it in the bag. How old are you?
I don't remember. There are spots in my memory that are blank. I'm very old. I know that for sure.
What is the oldest thing you remember?
I remember when the walls of Moroth were built.
Would I know how long ago that was?
Yeah, that was about, I believe I said 500 years ago.
So 500 years or so?
Yeah.
That's... Why us then? You were alive for so long, and you decided to become the right-hand butler at a noble's family? Why?
I was supposed to.
Why? That doesn't really answer my question.
I don't know. I was awake before the walls of Moroth were built because I remember helping build them. I don't remember waking up. I just know that I was bound to your family.
Do the Mesverks go 500 years back?
Masveriks are an old family.
I can't even tell you how long my history would go back 500 years. I don't know the fourth grandparent I've had going back.
Names are pointless.
They want to put this to you, apparently, since you were bound to mine for 500 years. But we won't get anywhere like this, since you don't remember. What do you know about these people, then? The ones that run everything.
They're old. They demand sacrifices. They've got agents in the town. They tell me what they need, and I bring it to them. There used to be others like me, but they took a stand, and disasters quickly happened, and they'd disappear.
So you think if I take a stand against them, we're all going to disappear?
Not all of us. You maybe. Me definitely. As for them, depends on whether they follow you or not. But I do know this, they do not like people knowing about them.
So you were bound to my family, but you just gave in to these people because it would protect us somehow?
I'm bound to protect your family. By any means necessary.
Well, then you're going to help me do it the hard way, then. Because I don't agree with that. I don't know how they all feel, but we've lived in the city all my life. You've been living in the city for many lives over. Nothing has ever tried to change it, but I will. Doesn't sit right with me that we're just bound by murderous rage and hostilities constantly that leave us in a strange balance. And now that this shadowy under family is holding us together, why not get them out of the way so that we can actually make true change? My father might want to help the poor and the sick and all those in between, but he's not curing the main problem, a symptom rather than the disease. And this divine intervention that has come to me in the last few months has made me realize something, that if they think I'm good enough to change the world, why not start with my little city here?
You're going to wipe out what may be the oldest, most powerful part of Moroth.
Correct.
This is a fool's errand, boy, but I'm sworn to protect you.
Well, if I was smart all the time, I wouldn't be where I am now. Takes a fool to do smart things sometimes.
He just stays silent.
Well, if you have no other information for me that might be necessary for the next coming days, then I will go to sleep. And I do hope that you will be more helpful in the morning. Maybe you'll rack your memory a bit.
I doubt that my memory will come back overnight.
Oh, of course. But no shame in trying.
He nods.
Good night, then. I'm gonna head downstairs.
Cool.
During that time, when Zahn and I believe Joven also went upstairs, right?
Yes.
During that time, Damakos actually hung back to speak with Kareen for a little bit.
Okay.
How long are you gonna keep using my whole name?
Why not? So, when I went to go to the meeting I had a run-in with my father, who subtly reminded me that the decision time was nigh. It seems I don't have the third day to make a decision. The third day is the decision time. That.
Yeah, I still don't know what the other choice was.
That's right, you don't. I'll get to that in a moment. Hopefully Zahn and Joven will come down, or at least Zahn will. But I ran into the meeting with my father at the spot where I was supposed to be meeting my older brother.
That does not sound good.
After he left, I found a note that is in my brother's handwriting. And I show her the note.
Don't trust.
It says,
Ooh.
when I was going to meet with my brother, I think he was going to tell me about things that have changed regarding my family since the time that I've been gone. But I'm not sure because he wasn't there. And I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment.
Ominous.
Yes.
But your family does seem to travel by like hidden corridor. behind
The meeting
tapestries.
was not at my home, though.
Oh. You didn't go. Yeah, I guess Zahn did say come back as soon as possible. So you couldn't have gone and looked for him. Are you worried?
Being that there was a large amount of blood at the spot, yes.
Oh.
And then my father was there sitting in a chair.
Oh,
Almost.
chair outdoors. I take it back. Your father's a fucking weirdo. So you think like what he might have?
I honestly do not know. But I have to basically. Oh, jeez. I either have to make the decision to have us go forward. We have to make this decision, go forward with this planned marriage, or the alternative, which isn't much easier in some aspects.
What do you have to marry Zahn or something?
If only both options were marriage to some people. No, the other option is to assassinate the queen.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, that was my reaction when he said it too.
How? How? How exactly does he?
I don't know. Those are my options, though. Those are the two choices I have to decide between.
You could literally die. Your father's crazy.
Possibly, he could also be very ambitious. As are most high-ranking nobles in Moroth.
I mean, I guess, but that's not something my papa would ever suggest to me. At least I don't think so. I haven't been home in a while.
We still don't know what he thinks about the lunch.
I don't. Word of it has already probably gotten to. Yes, I've been avoiding my family. Word of it has probably already gotten to my mama, and knowing her, she has probably planned an ambush in my room when I get home. So, I don't know if we're even going home though. If we're gonna get Jethro back, it sounds like we just have to go.
Problem is I can't just not make a decision on this.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what the hell.
If I don't give him a decision, he's going to drag my twin brother into this. And I cannot let that happen.
Kara is currently processing the information that Damakos is a twin. I'm also processing that information. Give me a second. Like what? He's gonna make your brother kill the queen? Or
He's going to most likely go get my brother from the arcane school that I took him to and force him to help the family in whatever ways my father deems necessary, which my brother could give two shits about.
does he also blow up things with magic like you do?
He is learning to harness his magic, yes. But there could be instances where his is more volatile than mine.
Oh, I just had a terrible thought out of character. He can never go to Cal. Ever.
With the twin brother.
Yep.
Was that that's an out of character thought, right?
That was an out of character thought because Kara's distracted.
Yep.
What do you mean more volatile? Like my lightning or like?
Are you familiar with Morgan? Quick question. I would know enough about Theodore's magic to know exactly what.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been on the receiving end of it more than once. You know what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Okay. His magic can sometimes tap into the more wild and untamed side of arcane in the air.
Oh.
If he's not careful.
Oh boy. I can see now why that would be something your father would want to use if it's volatile.
Yes, and I frankly hate the power games that happen in Moroth for several reasons, including this exact one that is a corner I am backed into at the moment.
You and me both. So what? What are you gonna tell your dad? Ow. My own headphones.
I don't know. Part of me wonders if it's tied into what Zahn is pursuing with this mystery power that is supposedly controlling the city. But it could be something entirely separate regarding the queen part of it. Obviously, if we go the marriage route, we all know that our parents are going to want us to not adventure and get on the Moroth stuff.
Yeah, we don't exactly have a say in not going adventuring, though. At least in our current experience.
Zon, when she says we don't really have a say, your brain starts to show you the image of first your home up in flames and then her home up in flames. And you hear burn.
Zon or Domicos?
Yeah, I was
meant
about to say,
Domino's.
Yeah.
Did I say
I
Zon?
sure
You
hope
did say
that
Zon.
would not be me.
I meant Domicos, not Zon. Sorry about that.
Zon, you're going crazy too. It's okay.
Your god has left you.
The flutes start up. Zon closes his eyes.
So I see both. Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean, there is always a third option, I suppose. It's not one that I necessarily want to pursue. But
Ditch the city again. Never come back. You're actually thinking about it, aren't you?
no, but it would involve that.
Okay. And the rest of that plan is.
Domicos stares creepily off in the distance.
We're not.
We'll just be making sure that my family doesn't have a hold in Moroth anymore.
Like murdering the rest of your family? I don't like the face you're making. I don't like it.
The flute starts to slowly increase in volume.
Oh God. Domagos is literally rubbing his head right now because of the damn flute. Oh, that flute sound is getting louder.
Still don't hear it.
Anyways, do you have any insight into at least one of those options? One of the two?
You know, considering the fact that I almost got run over by a horse and we kind of just left the town, I didn't get a chance exactly to ask my parents why your family. I'm also not skilled at killing people on purpose.
So I don't currently know what I'm going to do.
But you do have to go back and make a decision in the morning.
I thought I would have until the end of the day. Apparently, my father wants one as probably as soon as first light hits,
Yeah,
as close to it as possible.
your dad seems like the kind of guy that would make deadlines a certain day, but then have them at the beginning of the day rather than the end, just to be an asshole.
That tracks. But it's also probably not his deadline.
Regardless,
Anyways.
if you want to kill the queen, I'll help you. But that's entirely up to you. No one said it had to be a single person. Fuck your dad and his rules.
Well, thank you for the offer. I just know that we might need some more than just the two of us to get that part done. If I don't know how Zahn would necessarily appreciate this decision,
Probably not. No.
or Joven. I don't know if he would actually even really care because it's politics.
Joven has no stake in this country, except maybe up north where his parents might be. Has Zahn come downstairs yet?
Yeah, so at around this point, Zahn does come downstairs. Joven, are you doing anything? Or just following Zahn?
Joven's gonna follow Zahn.
Okay.
No one
So-
wants to be alone with James.
Okay, there's still a little bit of
Here.
fear.
It's fine, he can't come down here anyway.
So, yeah, they walk into the room.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Howdy.
Too cold upstairs or something.
No, there's just beds down here.
Yeah, that's what I said, and then you all left me.
Well, I had to speak to, my butler upstairs.
Yeah,
He can't come down here.
that's kind of why I'm here.
Have you looked at the book at all?
I was gonna do that before I went to sleep. We were having a conversation.
Well, now would be the time.
I guess so. I'm gonna pick a random bed
Yeah.
and just sit down and shit, I have the sword piece on me too.
Yeah, it is. Do you check the sword piece?
Yep.
It's not vibrating, but when you touch it, there's a lot of energy surrounding it.
You going
And-
to explain what this is to me yet?
Can I? Is the desk in here made of wood?
Desk is made of wood, yes.
I'm gonna stab the desk with it.
Sure. So you take it out, and it's very loose in your hand. You stab the desk, and the sword piece does as a normal sword would, cuts into the desk.
This is.
Okay.
Sorry. It's acting weird. I don't know why. This is the Damikos knows what it is. He was there when we found it.
Yep.
but this is a piece of a sword, assuming that we're supposed to collect, and it is vibrating currently, which normally it doesn't do that. Normally it just pulls me in the direction of what I assume is the next piece, but kind of going crazy. I'm gonna put it back in the box. Ooh,
Cool.
spooky.
Was it pulling here before?
Well, it was pulling north and pulling south. So as soon as we get away from here, we might be able to figure that out.
Maybe it has to do with being underground in this area that James can't go in.
No, we were below ground before, I believe it.
Maybe it's just this place in general then.
Maybe. Does it look like it's made of the same shit as Tower and James?
So it doesn't look like it's made of the same stuff as James, but it almost looks like a lighter version of the metal that makes up the hand that you guys picked up.
Put it back in the box and pull out the book and study before I go to sleep then.
Cool.
I'm kind of interested in the section on James specifically.
I'm staying
Sure.
up and waiting for any input on the book.
He's just gonna watch me read.
Yes.
That's creepy.
Gotcha. And what's everyone else doing?
I'm gonna look to Zahn and just be like, "Say, Zahn, can you do me a favor?"
Depends.
Well, Damakos and Kara seem to freak out when they touch this. I'm holding up my great axe. Can you? You seem to know more about things than most others. Can you take a look?
That's not true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch the axe, I guess.
So just like touching the dagger, it feels, I mean,
I've never touched the dagger.
Oh,
I've never
shit,
touched the
you
dagger.
never touched
Never-
the dagger.
No.
I tried giving it to
shit.
him once and he did not take it. So
Fuck, that's right. So you feel the blade feels cold to you, like a little bit colder than normal, but beyond that, I mean, it's just a fucking axe. Maybe those other two people are fucking crazy. Damocus is hearing a flute. Who knows what's really going on in his head?
It's strangely cold, but I don't see any other things wrong with it.
Well, that's a relief.
then
Just because I'm curious, I'm going to spend another charged essence rune. Are there any glyphs, inscriptions?
The rust on the axe glows a bit.
ew, gross.
So marks, runes, wards, or glyphs.
I ain't doing this. Are you doing this?
Would I, in that, because it's only for one round, would I be able to recognize like what? type
No,
it
so you know that it is one of those, but something more powerful than you is covering up what it is. So without actually seeing it, you wouldn't be able to tell which kind.
Gotcha.
You're about to rest. Yovan,
Yeah,
you bring your axe over here?
sure. Here you go.
I'm gonna slice my hand on the axe and see if it does anything.
Whoa,
Thank
whoa,
God.
whoa!
Okay. So, what's your highest spell slot you have left?
Currently 4. Wait, have left?
Yes.
2.
Level 2?
Yep.
So, when you cut, you rapidly feel yourself almost begin to hollow out. You lose your second level spell slots.
Oh shit! Like entirely?
Yep, they're gone.
What are you
And
doing?
you also see that the blood starts to crystallize in your hand.
God, I didn't have any higher level slots left.
What? Why? Why? Just why would you do that?
I'm trying. I don't know.
I
I don't have any.
would I recognize what that looks like now at this point?
It's very similar to what the dagger did to you, but with an added effect, and like from the sudden wave of nausea that went over her, it seems to be a more concentrated effect.
Can I try and? I'm gonna drop my axe. Can I do a medicine check on Kara's hand?
Sure, medicine check. So she's not bleeding, but this wound is not closing.
What?
There
What
seems to be like the blood itself has almost crystallized to hold open this wound.
Oh no! Oh no!
That is very similar to what the dagger that we gave Jethro did.
Did I already give you the damage for it?
Nope.
By the way, so you take. Let's just go
Oh
ahead
no!
and out here.
It's fine.
Oh,
We're about to rest.
You take 4 cold damage.
That's fine. I'm good. Besides, not having any more second level spell slots. That's alter self.
No one asked you to cut yourself.
Okay, but like,
Are you okay? This this is not normal. I don't know what.
like turn my hand over to see if the blood will just drip out.
It doesn't.
What the hell?
It crystallized. It's the wound's open, but it ain't closing. But it's.
Man, you're just gonna have so much to explain to your mom.
Assuming I ever go home. Goodbye, Mora.
In order to avoid getting married to Damokos, she runs away with Damokos.
Oh, anymore.
That I did not know my axe could do that. I am sorry. I did not know.
Shit.
Now we know.
I can try something in the morning, but I don't believe it will work. I don't know.
I'm gonna go back to carefully reading my book without the use of this one hand.
So now you only have the crispy hand?
I'm assuming that was the crispy hand.
I think what I'm getting the vibe is Kara's just gonna fuck up one half of her body.
Fuck this tattoo! Fuck this tattoo! If I were Baldur, I would cut the tattoo with his fucking axe, but that would get rid of all my first level slots.
Do it.
No! I need my first level slot.
I'm not letting her get her hands on my axe again. She's just. I don't know if this is like
academia. I inherited the wrong spirit from Bison.
So, interesting fact, when you just decided to cut your hand with the axe, you felt the armor, like that dress thing, kind of adjust itself on you a little bit.
Do I have to fucking attune to this shit? I'm gonna read for a little more and then see if I have to attune to this fucking tunic.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Okay. Yay.
So Theobrin created James. Theobrin, from what you're getting inside of this book, Theobrin was a artificer who specialized in making magical items. Towards the end of the book, like you're seeing, there are diagrams for like different things. You haven't quite translated what these are, but towards the end of the book, what you're seeing is a ruin, like a citadel with a comet streaking towards the citadel. And it has words on this page that you're not able to translate at this moment.
Well, whoever wrote this book is the one that made James.
So, Theobrin.
Yeah. Probably popped out of that one slot where the one guy is missing.
Makes sense.
Put the book away. If I need to attune to this fucking coat.
So, you're going to focus on your coat, and we'll cover that next time. Damikos, you want to do anything before we end the session?
I mean, I was just gonna talk with Zahn about what I was talking with Kara, but
Cool.
then maybe something else as well. But
Awesome. Then we're going to head over to Joven. So, Joven, when you're sitting on your bed holding your axe, you notice that Kara's blood hasn't left this blade. It, in fact, seems to have stayed on the edge. As you're watching it, the blood seems to get drawn towards the rust, and the amount of rust shrinks. All right. So let's get these conversations going.
okay,
I don't like that.
Zahn, I was going to give you some more information once we got back to your place, but then all this happened, so I'm in a bit of a dilemma with my own family.
Right.
So my father presented 2 options to me for helping the family out and gave me 3 days to decide, and the deadline is tomorrow morning. One
Well,
is
you're
to
not
marry.
going to get to that.
If we're heading back into the city, I'll have to make a detour.
We aren't.
Well, I'll just have to figure that out then. But regardless, it was either marry Kara.
Alright.
It's a great laugh. Or kill the Queen of Moroth.
That one. Tell him that one. Didn't give you a time frame.
He probably will,
Well,
knowing him. I mean, he
You'll
gave me a
have to
time frame on the
negotiate. You've been along me long enough. You can negotiate.
Yes. It's also
Killing the Queen of Moroth isn't going to be something that you just walk into the castle gates and cut off her head. He'll know it's going to take a bit of time and a bit of planning and probably additional resources. Say he gives you 6 months. Isn't that more than enough time to come up with a solution if you don't actually feel like doing that?
I hope so. I mean, my plan B
Then
is
tell
a
him that.
fireball.
Or marry Cara, like I care. It's... You can technically do that and do whatever you want, couldn't you?
No, because at the lunch and that Cara and I had to go to, they made it very clear that it would be to calm our adventuring lives down.
Well, you can't choose that one. I have more use of you.
I mean,
From the corner of the room, Car just says, "Not on your payroll."
that.
You've earned more money in your entire life with me, though.
No, I haven't.
Well, you will.
Either way, I at least will have to know the direction that you guys are heading in so I can catch up to you in the morning. 'Cause I
Well,
have to get-
James made it pretty clear that he delivered it to someone who was north of the city, so we will be heading in that direction.
Very well.
How north? I don't know. North enough, obviously, that it will require a decent amount of journeying. And the longer we wait, the less of a chance Jethro has, and we have any chance of having a moment of surprise on these people.
That is why I am talking with you about this, as
Good.
I can't avoid just not doing this decision. The cost is too high.
Of course. And I'm glad you told me. I would rather you all not keep secrets. But, like I said, find a way to tell them you'll kill the queen. Negotiate a way out of doing it immediately, because that'd be insane. Or just a death wish.
It would not surprise me if they wanted me to make it a death wish.
Well, then what is the choice? That's just an illusion of a choice, then. They're just looking for you to either become not a problem anymore or to stop existing.
Since the day I was born, it was made very clear to me that my parents' focus for me was to be used as a weapon.
Well, are you going to listen to them, or are you going to do what you want?
If I had my choice, I would not be used as anyone's weapon.
Then don't.
The flute hits a high note.
But I have to make a choice on. I have to make the choice on this. The cost is too great if I don't give him a choice.
But is it really a choice? Like I said. If it's not, then why choose? They say about the lesser of two evils. Why choose? If they're both evil, no reason to even bother.
Making a choice will protect my brother.
Well, that adds an extra layer to it. I've been around long enough that you don't have to make the most obvious choice to protect someone. Hell, I've been doing that for nearly 10 years, give or take. Going with the less obvious of choices.
I want to bring out something real quick.
Uh-huh.
Did Zon completely forget that he told that healer to meet him in the morning?
Yes.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, since I will be heading back into the city again in the morning, just for a brief staunt to talk with my father, I
You
will.
better get up early or we're going to leave you. Like I said, in my opinion, you can tell him whatever you like, but the more you talk about it, the less I'm inclined to even give a choice. Because you're not being given a choice.
It's how my family is most of the time. There are pluses, though.
Are there?
Yeah, we got hot tubs.
Fuck you.
And on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. We'll pick back up next Monday. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week on FetchQuest. Like our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our Twitch. Anybody else have anything they want to plug?
Follow us on Twitter.
That too. Twitter's a big one. All right.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Fantastic. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.